What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of 1984 The Podcast. Today's topic, we're going to talk about burning bridges. You know, your whole life you've been told that you shouldn't burn bridges. You know, don't burn bridges because you never know when you're going to need them one day. But I'm here to tell you, it's okay to burn some bridges in your life because not all bridges are helpful. Not all bridges serve a purpose. See, from a certain age, from a young age, God starts building bridges in our life. You know, he builds strong, sturdy bridges with good foundations. You know, they can carry any load. They can withstand any winds. You know, they can withstand rushing waters. And they're being built high up in the mountains, you know, where the terrain is rough, where the water is at its roughest, you know, where the rivers and the rapids are at their strongest, where the temperature is at its coldest, because they're designed to get you to the top of the mountain. You know, these bridges, they're being built, like I said, from a young age. They're strong, they're wide, you know, they can carry any load. The thing is, of course, we as human beings, we as people, we start at the bottom. Our journey always starts at the bottom. So in order to get to these bridges, we have to climb, you know, up the mountain. Now, while you're climbing up the mountain, you're going to come across obstacles. You're going to come across rivers. You're going to come across gorges. You know, you're going to come across canyons that need to be crossed. Now, the thing is, we like to take shortcuts. And that's what happens is instead of going further up the mountain, we know that we have strong bridges up on the mountain. We know that they've already been built there from a young age. They're strong. They can carry everything we got. They can handle every bit of luggage that we got. These bridges can handle, but they're so far up the mountain. So you see these little gorges and these little rivers that you have to cross. Some of them are still treacherous, but they're not as far up the mountain. And you're like, well, if I just build a little bridge right here, you know, down here further down the mountain, I can cross easier. You know, I could cross right here. The river's still rough. The terrain's still a little rugged, but I don't have to go all the way up the mountain. I don't have to carry this load all the way up the mountain and use these bridges that I know are already built there. I could just build a little bridge right here out of sticks and stones that's lying around, out of some driftwood I see. I can build this little bridge just to get me across right here. That way I don't have to go all the way up the mountain. See, we take these shortcuts and you put this little bridge together and you cross. Now you're thinking, okay, I cross right here. I'm done with this little bridge. I'll never have to use it again. And you go on and you start traversing up the mountain. The thing is, before you get to your mountaintop, you have to stop. You're like, oh, I need to go back and get some more stuff. So when you go back instead of going all the way up to the top and crossing at your bridges that have already been built, you're going to go back across that little pretty rickety bridge that you said you're only going to use one time. You have to go back to it. So when you finish your journey, you come back. Now you come back to that bridge and, you know, it's been weathered, it's falling apart, you know, parts of it are already starting to wash away, but you say to yourself, it's okay. It can hold my weight. You know, I don't have my baggage right now. I dropped my baggage off. I'm going to get a little bit more. So this bridge can hold my weight. And I don't feel like climbing all the way to the top of the mountain to use these strong, sturdy bridges that have already been built for me. So you go across the bridge, and as you go across the bridge, it falls apart even more under your feet because it's not built on anything strong. The foundation's not strong. The foundation's not established. It just starts crumbling under your feet. But you manage to make it across safely. So you go back, you pick up another load, and you're coming back up your mountain, and you know that this bridge is on its last leg, but it's so convenient. It's down here at the bottom. You know, it's down here low. You don't have to climb all the way to the top to get across. You know, even though you got more baggage and you know this bridge is falling apart, you still decide, you know what, I'm gonna try it again. You know, it can handle it. It handled it the first time. It handled it when I came back. It can handle it this time. So you walk across this rickety old bridge that you built out of sticks and stones and trash, and it falls apart under your feet. The next thing you know, you and all that baggage are now plunged into the cold water, and the current is rushing you down and it's sweeping you away, and there's nothing for you to grab onto because you built this little bridge down here at the bottom where there's nothing else. There's nothing else down here. See, up at the mountaintop, you have several bridges. So even if you fall off of one, for whatever reason, if that bridge starts to crumble, you have more that you can cross. You have more, you can grip onto their foundations for safety if you do find yourself caught in the current. You know, but down here, this little trash bridge you built out of sticks and stones, there's nothing else down here. Now, how does that relate to relationships and people? See, the strong bridges that were built for you as you were growing, those are the friends, the family members, the associates, the professional friends, the co-workers, people like that, the professional references, people you meet throughout your life, teachers, professors, like I said, just the people at the gas station. You might know somebody who works at the gas station that supports you. These are your support system. They're established from a young age, and you build these things. They only require a little maintenance. These bridges, they're strong. They're built out of concrete and steel. Like I said, they can withstand any storm. All you have to do is do a little maintenance. They can carry any loads. You just have to go up the mountain and use them. But see, we as people, we sometimes don't want to climb the mountain and do the maintenance on these strong bridges. We ignore the lifelong friends. We ignore the lifelong associates. We ignore the people that want to help us because it's too far up the mountain for us to go. I don't want to go all the way up there to do maintenance on this bridge, even though I know that a few days later, I'm going to have this big load that I need to carry across and get up the mountain. And this bridge can handle it, but I don't want to go up there, So I'm going to come down here and build this little temporary bridge. And that's what we do with people. We meet people that are only in our life for a season. They serve a purpose at that moment. They're toxic. They don't have our best interest at heart for the long run, but they're convenient. They're there at the moment. They're there when you're going through a breakup, so you confide in them. They're there when you're vulnerable, so you confide in them. You might need a few dollars to a payday, and they're there. But you loan them, they loan you $100 to a payday, and you pay them back. But guess what? Now, everybody in your circle knows that they had to loan you money. They're telling everybody that they had to loan you money, how poor you are and how pathetic you are because they had to loan you money, how you came crawling to them and begging to them for them to loan you money. They have to keep bringing that negative energy. Those are those temporary bridges that you have a support system. You had a bridge stronger that you could have went and asked. You'd be like, hey, listen, I'm going through a hard time. I need to borrow a few dollars. The difference is you were going to have to work up there. That bridge was going to tell you, that person might tell you, sure, I'll loan you $100, but you need to come and mow my yard for the next 3 weeks. That way you can work off that $100. You don't have to pay it back. I just want an exchange for it. You mow my yard, you could keep the $100. You mow my yard for the next 3 weeks, you could keep that $100. Ooh, that's work. I don't want to work. Why would I go up here to this support system that I know isn't going to rub it in my face? They're not going to, drag me down about this $100. They're going to give me the $100. I just have to do something in return. When I have this bridge down here, this little rickety bridge with no support, that they're going to give me the $100. I just got to give it back, but I don't have to work for it. I don't have to do anything. I just have to give it back at a later date. But they're going to drag me through the mud over it. See, that's when it's okay to burn a bridge. Yes, you may have crossed that bridge. You may have borrowed that $100 from that person and they're dragging you in the mud. But the thing is, you need to remove that bridge from your mountain. If you know that that person is, slandering you, dragging you down, they mean goodwill. They can't help you get your load across the mountain. Burn that bridge. Destroy that bridge. Set it on fire. Once you cross it, it's okay to take shortcuts in life. We do it. You're only human. But once you, build that bridge and you cross it and you get across, and it was a rough crossing, it was shaky the whole way through. It was falling apart under your feet. But once you get across, you light a match and you burn that bridge. That way you never use it again. See, the problem is we don't burn those bridges. We want to hold on to them. We want to keep them there. We want to just, they're right there. They're convenient. We just hold on to them until they fall apart under our feet and we drown. See, those strong bridges, when you try to burn a strong bridge, it's not going to go down easy. Like I said, they're built of concrete and steel. They can withstand the biggest storms. So when you light a fire on concrete and steel, it takes a lot for it to come down. That bridge is going to be resistant to those flames because those bridges were built in your life to help you carry the heaviest loads, to help you get to your mountaintop. So when you try to burn those bridges, and people do, we do it all the time. That person might not agree with us on something. They might have a different political view than we have. They might have a different spiritual view than we have. And we try to burn that bridge down. But the thing is, that bridge was ordained in your life to be there to help you get to your mountaintop. So burning it down is not going to be easy. It's not going to go down easy. But see, those little bridges that you just throw together overnight, that person you met on a whim, that little one night stand you had with somebody, that little, fly by night friendship you had, that little social media friendship you established, these people that you think are your friends, and you build these little bridges because you think they're going to help you get to your mountaintop. They help you cross the river down at the bottom. They help you cross the gorge down at the bottom. So you don't have to go all the way up the mountain to cross, on the bridge that can carry your load. They might help you. It's going to be very shaky, but you have to burn that bridge because you don't want to come back across it. Many times we as people, we tend to want to hold on to people that are toxic to us. We tend to want to hold on to these little bridges that we built, whether it be in a relationship, a friendship, co-workers, whatever the situation may be. We spend so much time holding on to these bridges, trying to make them work. We keep patching them up and patching them up. Okay, let me go get some more driftwood and put it on here. Oh, let me go get some wood out the trash, some scrap wood. I'll put it here and I'll nail it here, and this should hold for a few more days. This should hold up in that thunderstorm that's coming through. I got several bridges up top, at the top of my mountain, already ready. They're already there. Little windstorm, little thunderstorm don't hurt them. Nothing shakes them, but I don't want to climb all the way up there. I don't want to do the maintenance. I don't want to go up there and make sure that, there's no potholes, or I want to make sure everything's all on the up and up and they're nice and ready I don't want to do that. Why do that when I could just build this little rickety bridge down here real quick, overnight, get across it. It gets me across. So that's what we do. But we have to learn that even though we do take these shortcuts and build these little bridges, we got to burn them. Once they've been used, once we got our use out of them, once they serve their purpose, we have to learn to burn them because they shouldn't have been there in the first place. We should stick to the bridges that have been put into our life to help us carry the burdens, to help us carry the loads, to help us get across the deepest trenches, the strongest waters. I think about, all the relationships that I've had over the years, professional relationships and friendships. And I think about all the people that I thought were friends, people that I was like, oh my God, this person is, going to be there for me. This person is going to uplift me. Really, they were not really friends. They were just a convenience. They were there in a time where I just needed them to serve a purpose. It wasn't malicious. I wasn't using them per se, but subconsciously, I had something going on. And even though it wasn't, very visible to me, I had something going on inside of me, my mental state. I was at a point in my life where something was happening, and this person allowed me comfort. I found comfort in this person. No matter how toxic the relationship was, no matter how toxic the friendship was, I found comfort in this person for whatever reason. Maybe they said something that triggered something, in my mind. It's like, oh, you know what? They know what they're talking about, or this is the person I need right now. And what I learned was they were just that quick bridge that I needed to get across because I didn't want to go to the top. You know, I didn't want to climb the mountain and talk to my friends that had been there for years because I didn't know how to approach them. You know, it was it's going to be too much work. You know, they're going to judge me. You know, they're going to call me out. You know, this person doesn't know me. So they're just going to go along and make me feel good. You know, they're going to agree with me no matter what. And they're going to make me feel good about myself. So I built that little bridge, you know, to help me, you know, thinking it's going to hold my load. And of course, they didn't make it. You know, the bridge didn't last. The friendship didn't last. You know, down the road, we'd argue over, you know, trivial things, you know, or you know, you find out that, you know, you're venting to them about someone that you're attracted to. And the next thing you know, they're talking to that person and they're using that energy to go talk to that person. Like, well, you know, and you're sitting there thinking like, well, man, I thought this was going to be a bridge that I could constantly use. But then when you realize like, no, this is just a temporary solution to a much bigger problem, when I should have went to somebody I could trust, when I should have used my strong bridge that was already built for me, you know. And again, we as people, we do that. You know, like I said, people find you when you're your most vulnerable, when you're looking for a shortcut. And, you know, sometimes we don't want to work to climb that mountain. Sometimes we don't want to use those bridges that have already been built for us. We're just looking for something quick, fast. It's convenient. It's here. It's ready for me. You know, I got a pile of sticks right here and a pile of stones right here. It's not that big of a gap. The water's kind of choppy, but you know, if I just put these here and I'll do this there, you know, I think I can make it happen. I think I can make it work. But it doesn't work long. It doesn't last forever. Those bridges don't last forever. That's when it's okay to burn them. Burn them. When I say burn them, let them go. You know, you're not going to need everybody. That's the thing about when they say burning bridges. They're like, oh, you never know when you're going to need that bridge again in life. You never know what that person can do for you. Not everybody that you come across in life is going to be able to help you down the line. Like I said, a lot of people are just there for a season. They're temporary solutions. They're not going to do anything positive for you later on in life. They're negative. You know, they're not going anywhere in life. They're not trying to grow. They have no goals. You know, they're just a very toxic person. They're full of negativity. They don't understand what it's like to, you know, have aspirations. They're just there. They're constantly saying negative things and constantly putting you down, constantly telling you can't do something, or telling you that, you know, they don't think you should try because they don't feel comfortable doing it. Those people are the type of people you need to remove from your life. You need to burn those bridges because they have no use in your future. They're not going to help you cross any bodies of water. They're not going to help you cross any treacherous waters. They're not going to help you get across rough terrain. They're not going to do anything positive for you because they're just not, you know, capable of doing it. They're just, like I said, they were put in your life for a season. Like I said, maybe you needed somebody to loan you a couple of dollars. Maybe you needed somebody that knew how to fix a transmission. You know, maybe you just needed somebody to vent to about a breakup. You know, or maybe you're new in town and you don't know anybody, and you meet this person and they seem like a good person, and you know, you build this little quick friendship and you find out it's not as good as you thought it was going to be. That's when you have to learn to cut people off. Like I said, your best bridges, the strongest bridges, were built years ago. They've been established. You just have to maintain them. Now, there's nothing saying you can't keep building strong bridges. Yes, you know, you can add to your bridges up on the mountaintop, but you have to work. See, that's the thing. You have to literally climb up there with the tools and, like I said, build these bridges. You can add bridges to the bridges that had already been built for you. You know, the foundations are still there. You know, God is going to keep laying foundations for new bridges. You know, like I said, he's going to put bridges in your life that help you reach your mountaintop, but he's also going to build, there's going to be foundations. There's going to be places up there at the top where you can build a new bridge. You can meet a new person that's going to help you climb your mountain, that's going to help you reach your goals, but you have to put in that work. See, you can't sit back and just say, okay, well, the foundation's there. If I just sit back long enough, God's going to build me another bridge. No, sometimes you have to put in the work and build that bridge. He'll give you the tools. He'll give you the supplies. The supplies will be there at the top of the mountain. They'll be up there close to the top of the mountain, but you have to go up there and actually build these new bridges, you know, and they're going to coincide with the bridges you already have, you know, because, you know, they're just going to This bridge is you're just gonna cross several bridges, and it's gonna keep going higher and higher and higher until you reach the top. But the problem is, like I said, we don't want to climb up there. Like, oh my God, I gotta walk up there, lug these tools up there. Then I gotta move these bricks, and I gotta lay the mortar, and I gotta do all this and build this bridge. And yes, I have some help, but I gotta build this bridge. Why would I do all that when I have all this lightweight material down here? You know, this light wood. It's a little rotted, but it's light. It's not heavy. I'm not going to hurt myself picking it up. I don't need any mortar. You know, I'm just going to use some twine and use a couple of these little stones here. And we're just going to, you know, why would I go all the way up there and put in all this extra work to build this real big, strong bridge, or go up here and repair these bridges that have already been built? They've been up there for 15 years. I don't feel like going up there and repairing this bridge when I can just build this little quick bridge downstream and cross real quick and take the easy road up the mountain. That's the problem. That's where we run into the problem. Sometimes we're going to have to take the rough roads. You're going to have to climb to get to your bridges. Those strong bridges, those little bridges, they're gonna fall apart under you while you're walking. You're gonna have, you know, they might have carried you that one day. They might have carried you that second day. They might have carried you your third day because your load is not that heavy. You know, you don't have a big load. You know, your baggage isn't that heavy. You know, it's just a small load, and the bridge is a little wobbly when you're walking on it, but it can handle it. You know, you're like, oh, okay, I got this. But one day you're gonna have a bigger load. You know, you're going to have more baggage. You're going to have more baggage in your life that you ever thought you had. You're going to have debt. You're going to have depression. You know, you're going to be dealing with family problems, relationship problems, and you're going to try to walk across that little temporary bridge. Okay. You're going to try to vent to that person, you know, that was just there for a season, that person that you think is going to keep helping you get to the easy road to up your mountain. You're going to vent to that person, and you're going to bring all this baggage to that person, and they're just going to crumble. They're going to crumble. They're not going to know what to tell you. They're going to give you bad advice. You know, they're going to, you know, just take all your business and tell the whole world, you know, like, oh, this is what's going on with this person. Oh my God, let me tell you what this person did. Let me tell you what they're doing now. They're just falling apart. They're just a mess. They're just horrible. You know, they're going to take everything and just dump you in the river. And there you are, struggling, gasping for air, drowning, because you put all your trust in this little bitty bridge that you built instead of trusting your bridges at the top that have already been built for you, that are already strong enough to handle whatever load you carry out. Time after time, you can come with your depression, you can come with your family problems, you can come with your financial problems, you can come with problems at work. These bridges can handle it. They can handle whatever you could throw at them. That's what they were built for. That's why they've been up there for so long. That's why they've been up there for 15, 20 years, because they can handle anything. That little bridge, think about it. Think about it. I want you to sit back and really think about it. Think about all the people that have came into your life just this year in 2020, from January to now. We're in November. Think about all the people that you have met that you no longer talk to, that you just met this year. People that you thought were going to elevate you to new levels. People that you thought were here for you. You know, they showed up at the beginning of the pandemic and you confided in them because you might have lost your job. You might have been getting evicted. You know, the money ain't coming in, or you got a family member that passed away because of the virus. You got all this going on, and you thought this person, you know, they were there. You know, and you're like, man, this is somebody I can confide in. This is a new bridge. I'm just building this bridge. It's going real easy. You know, I'm not putting a lot of work into this bridge. It's going up very easy. And now you come back a few months later and that bridge is gone. It's been swept away. You're like, what happened to that bridge? You know, that bridge was so convenient. It was so, you know, it didn't take a lot of work, and, you know, I could just, you know, skip across it real quick, and it was a little wobbly, but it didn't take a lot of work. But now it's gone. You know, I was just here yesterday, and the bridge was here. It was barely hanging on, so it's been swept away. You know, I know for a fact, because I've been you know, it's happened to me. You know, people that I've met at the beginning of this year, who I thought had my best interest in heart. You know, who I thought were going to help me and elevate me to new levels, and they were going to be here to, you know, have my back during everything that's going on. They're gone. They don't talk. We don't talk anymore. You know, it's nothing I did, or maybe I did do something. You know, I don't know what it was. All I did was, you know, try to walk across the bridge. You know, we built this little bridge, like, oh, okay, gonna be a great little relationship, great little friendship. And next thing you know, the bridge is washed away. They're gone. Don't hear from them no more. Don't know where they went. Have no clue where they went. And that's the thing. We all do that. And it doesn't make you a bad person for building that rickety bridge. The thing is, you have to know when to let it go. You have to know when to set it on fire, set it ablaze, watch it burn. Matter of fact, it's already made of driftwood anyway. It's already made of trash wood anyway. Just use that wood you know what? Put some of that wood on your back while you're walking up top to your new bridges, you know, your strong bridges, your bridges that have been there. While you're walking up that terrain, you can stop and you can build a fire with that trash that you were going to use to build that little quick bridge to get you across the little shortcut bridge. Use that wood to build a fire to keep you warm, you know, to warm your spirit, to warm your soul while you climb your mountaintop. That's what you use that wood for. You don't use that wood to build a bridge. These people that come into your life for a season, these people that you think are here to help you, these people you think have your back, you use that as fuel to warm your spirit. You use that as fuel to start a fire, to keep you warm and to keep you motivated, to keep you climbing that mountain till you reach the top. Because if you continue to rely on these little rickety bridges that you just built overnight out of nothing, you're going to eventually drown. Look, guys, I hope that, you know, these words are able to resonate with you. I hope you guys are enjoying, you know, season 2 of 1984, the podcast. Like I said, we're taking a different approach here, bring you guys more positive information, more spiritual information. And, you know, don't forget to like and subscribe and share these videos. You know, till next time, guys.